Huey Lewis in the news this morning. Who knew? Who knew? Do we have any big Huey Lewis in the news fans? Well, it's definitely not Jen Albert, Keely. All right. Not something that typically comes on my playlist, but yeah, fun song. And it kind of goes into my topic for today, just to try and get us thinking about insourcing. I think we are kind of in a world where it just seems like outsource, pay somebody to do it, get your food delivered, pay somebody to do the lawn, even in our business, get a TC to send out the emails and stay in touch with your contacts and have an ISA to filter through all the leads and stuff like that. And I'm just thinking there are periods of our life where we might need to step back and take a look at this stuff and think, am I outsourcing in the right places? Because I think sometimes if we would go back to some of the insourcing, there's a lot of lessons learned. There's obviously some financial savings. There's some life satisfaction when we insource and we do it ourselves. I think it's something that it's always been ingrained in me to just kind of get to the bottom of it, figure it out. It's going to take me a little longer. I'm sure there's a shortcut, but I'm going to go just play with this and I'm going to figure it out. I remember, growing up, that was one of my things that I got made fun of for, like, around my family gatherings, is I was always trying to fix something or play with something or build something. And I can go down a rabbit hole with it. And I think it stays with me to this day of really trying to go deep on stuff. And I think there's just so many aspects. I was just kind of jotting down some thoughts on the different areas where this stuff can come into play. Meal prep, right? Are we going out and buying? Are we getting the meal delivery? Is that the healthiest way to do it? Is it the cheapest way to do it? Right? Can we do our own meal prep and eat better? If we're trying to go on a health thing, I've taken the shortcut. I've gone the meal prep. I had people delivering meals to the door. I've had them delivered to the office. Right now I'm in a mode of I'm going to do it myself. I know exactly what's going into my food. Yes, it takes me a little bit longer, but I think there's some satisfaction that's coming from that. I don't know, home maintenance repairs. I know everybody says they're not handy. I don't know how many people grow up handy. I think you just play with it. You start to learn how to do some stuff. And for me, there's a lot of satisfaction that comes out of that stuff. Mowing the lawn. I know some people just absolutely love to mow the lawn. Other people maybe don't appreciate it as much. But if you're somebody that just loves mowing the lawn and now you're outsourcing that, could it bring some joy and some fulfillment back into your life? So it's crazy, the list of stuff. I use ChatGPT to just figure out, but grocery shopping is getting outsourced. I don't know. It seems like maybe it's overkill, and I wanted to use today as an opportunity to just maybe look at some of the aspects of your life that you're outsourcing, and would insourcing maybe be the better way to go. So that's the message for today. What you guys hear? What are you thinking? Are there some areas where, maybe I am outsourcing a little too much? I don't know. When I take my coaching calls, it's like they want you to outsource everything. Like, if it's not, the thing that you're the best at, find somebody else to do it, and it definitely works in a lot of areas, but I think for me, I'm somebody that needs the fulfillment out of actually doing some stuff. So I think you got to know yourself on this topic. But what are you hearing? What are you thinking?
Good morning, Steve. Chris Cook here.
Hello, Chris. Welcome to the call.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here. And this actually hit me really hard this morning because I think you taught me. Hi, Margaretta. I think you taught me way back, what is the best use of my time? And I think that There are certain things I'm outsourcing that I should not be outsourcing. I think that I got so used to outsourcing so much that it can go to the extreme. I think, like everything in life, it's that balance, the balance of, okay, what's the best use of my time? Is a TC doing that work the best use of my time? No, it's absolutely not the best use of my time. So I have someone that does it. But can I be going into the grocery store? Can I be food prepping? Can I be doing some of the other things that I'm just like kind of feeling lazy and just like, screw it, I'll have somebody else do it for me. And, when you're super, super busy and sales are super, super, super high, okay, maybe that's okay. But when you get to a point where it's leveling off a little bit, I think it's time for me to take a step back. So I really appreciate this very much. And I hope everybody has a great day.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm somebody that started off doing everything myself, wouldn't spend a nickel to have somebody else do it for me because I wanted to know, to somebody that was outsourcing just about everything. And it's just something that I've been thinking about lately of, we talked yesterday about that kind of that sweet spot. Where is the sweet spot on your outsourcing? Right? And there's different, chapters of your life story. And depending on the chapter, maybe there's certain things that are, the outsourcing makes sense. And then, in the next chapter, maybe outsourcing that doesn't make sense anymore. Lauren.
So mine really ties in, like you were just saying, to chapters in your life. So growing up, we did everything, right? You never paid nobody to do nothing. You figured it out, like you were saying, how to do it. We luckily had very able and minded people. My grandfather was an engineer, so you just fixed and you found and you made things work. So I grew up like that a lot. The last probably 10 years of my life, we got so comfortable into a space, financially, and the ability to literally outsource like everything. And didn't even realize how much of our life was outsourced until that changed a lot this year. So we had a lot of big changes, and now we are back to having insourced a lot of that, one out of necessity, and for other reasons. And I am finding how much I forgot I enjoyed some of it, right? The things around the house, the tinkering, the cooking. So I grew up in like kitchens because we owned restaurants, and I'm cooking, and we used to eat out all the time. And the yard work. So it really is for a lot of reasons. And I'm finding joy again in insourcing a lot of the things that I had outsourced.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I mean, I'm finding a lot of that same stuff, and some of that stuff, I don't know, can it, bring some physical activity? Does it keep your brain going to be thinking through some of that stuff? Mowing the lawn, you go grab a push mower and you mow the lawn for an hour. That's one hell of a workout. So you want to get a little bit of self-fulfillment. You want to get your daily activity. You want to get maybe a little meditative time. Go mow the lawn. You kill three birds with one, or I don't know what the hell that thing is. Two birds, three birds in this case. Plus, you're not paying somebody, so there's a savings to it. But I think you got to look at your individual situations and see if there's some opportunities to maybe bring some joy and fulfillment back into your life. Maybe you save a couple of bucks as well. So yeah, anything coming to mind that, like, what, this is hitting here, I'm making this change, something that maybe you've stepped away from? Jeff and Linda, what do you got?
Good morning. And so this isn't about something that I've recently changed, but I love this conversation. And I remember when my twins were little and my whole life was serving them 24/7. And the greatest, most decadent treat that I had was going out and cutting our big ass lawn. It was huge. And it gave me this very, very legitimate reason, right? That where, Dad, you're on, I'm going to cut the grass. And it was like heaven. And so, yeah, I think that if we outsource too much, because we're trying to be uber efficient, there are times, there are moments, there are reasons where it makes perfect sense. But when you totally unplug and disconnect from those ways that you touch life and life touches you, it creates a void that takes away from your humanity, and you don't even realize it until, to Lauren's point, you start doing them again. And it's a thing about, it's a balance, again, yes, there are seasons and moments when you have to be all hands on deck with business and you don't have time for those things. And then out of necessity, outsourcing them is beautiful. It's perfect. It's a fabulous option. But then there are other times when you do, as humans, need to connect in those ways. And if we let it go too long, it just creates a void in our humanity that we're not even aware of until we start doing them again and touching those things in life, and experiencing them and the joy that they can offer.
Yeah, I love it, and I can so picture you getting on that mowing that big ass lawn.
Oh, it was awesome. It had a massive hill. It was a double lot, and it was just grass for miles. We needed like a riding mower. It's like, no, I got this.
That's great.
Half day event.
That's great. Keely.
So to what Linda was saying, is that I have twins as well, Linda. So I could totally appreciate you mowing the lawn, and if it took 3 hours, it was 3 hours kind of away from the kids, which is nice and gives you some sanity. In my case, I'm kind of like a control nut, so I like to do everything myself, and I was finding myself getting super frustrated as a single mom, not being able to do everything. So I actually never outsourced anything because I financially couldn't outsource anything. But I recently just actually got somebody to help me clean the house every other week. And for me, I always feel like nobody can really clean it as good as I can. I'm OCD, and I just kind of had to take that control away. And it's been like a blessing. It's just for me, it's just something that I don't have to think about. I mean, obviously I still vacuum, during the week and all that, but I don't have to think about the big stuff like the showers and whatnot. So that's the only thing I really outsource, but it feels good to do something like that.
Yeah, right. Trying to find that balance of what's bringing you the joy and what's not bringing you the joy. And it's funny. Obviously, being the dad here, I've taken less of the burden on the kids, and I would never think of going out to mow the lawn as being the escape from spending the time with the twins. But as you lay it out, I can totally see the bliss there. So yeah, great share. Any final thoughts on insource and outsource, and before we move to real estate? All right. Well, who's got something going on, a deal that's weird or funky, or you need help with, or just something you learned recently that be a great share for the group? James.
Yeah, I have a condo I'm gonna list after Labor Day, and I just had a general question to the group about um, I've never really done a coming soon type of listing or posting, and just wondered how effective that will be. The place is going to be painted and prepped and photoed and staged and all of that probably by the end of July, but I don't want to list it in August, so I'm going to wait till after Labor Day. And I just wondered if folks have worked with that and if it's been effective, or if it's better just to wait altogether. I believe that you can do 30 days in MLS of coming soon before the DOM starts to kick in.
Who wants to speak to coming soon? Who's done it? Just go ahead, Hiram. Just get an experience share going.
So with the coming soon, I use coming soon quite often because of the fact that it gets the eyes on that property ahead of time, and it builds up that sense of excitement. Wow, we got a new listing coming soon. Hey, if this is a good fit, we can schedule a showing. I would be careful. I know in Connecticut, coming soon will only allow you 14 days max to be on, and on that 14th day, you have to go live. So once you do a coming soon, you cannot, change your mind, and it has to go live in order to remain compliant with any MLS. But coming soons are very effective in the sense that you can market it, opposed to a delayed listing. You can't market the property. You can't put it out there. Coming soon, you can put up a couple photos, even if the photography hasn't been completed yet. You can put a couple photos up there. You can start putting that. It goes on MLS as coming soon, and again, it just builds that sense of excitement and urgency, especially with low inventory in our markets. Soon as a coming soon comes, if it's a good fit for everybody, you'll start getting showing requests ahead of time. So I like the coming soon. I do them for just about all my listings, unless my clients have an issue with a coming soon.
Thank you, Hiram. That's very helpful. Appreciate it.
Lauren, you had your hand up.
Yeah, I also, so listening to everything Hiram said, at first I was gonna say, like, I don't love the idea of coming soons, but a lot of really good there because of the fact that you can market it. I think we do have a market where consumers can easily forget, right? Especially in our housing market. They know I got to see stuff this week, see it this weekend, then it's gone. So we also have that option of just the delayed or deferred showings. So I almost think that like couple of days and that anticipation in itself sometimes is enough, but a lot of really great value behind what Hiram saying with the ability to market it a little bit longer as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, James, and I did just take a quick peek at MLS pin while we're on here. It looks like it's 21 days on the coming soon.
Okay, great. Thank you.
So, yep. Chris, go ahead. Oh,
I'm
you're
just
muted.
gonna-
There you go.
I'm just going to speak from my experience, and I do not do coming soons. I do a little video before that says something's coming soon, and I don't say the address because, like what was said before, you can't market it unless it is a coming soon. But I do, when I'm looking for buyers, I always check coming soon. So I do think it's a great tool to have. Personally, I wouldn't do it more than 4 days before, because I think sometimes if it's too long before, I've seen it and it gets lost in the time frame. Like my buyer will be like, why is that coming soon in 2 weeks? I think it's just too long. Kind of what Lauren just said too, the delayed showings, like no showing till the open house per se. How Lauren said that the anticipation in those days alone is a good thing. So in my experience, it's been good to give them a teaser, and it's coming, and to get them lined up. But I personally wouldn't go too far in advance.
No, that's great. Thank you very much. Like you were saying, Steve, in the previous conversation, it's about the balance, I think, of getting all those approaches right, just the timing of it and everything. But it certainly seems to be effective.
Yeah, my initial thought, is, even 21 days, I think I'm in an agreement with Chris here that, it's just too much. It's going to get lost in the shuffle. But a week, defer the showings out, get some, anticipation coming, I think that's a really smart move.
Yeah, it's exactly what I was thinking. A week to 10 days. It'll be nicely prepped. Yeah, very good. Thank you.
Let's just talk too while we're on the topic, because you mentioned waiting to the holiday or things like that. Does anybody want to share any experiences around or have any thoughts about the holidays and, do I wait until after this holiday or holiday weekends, or anybody want to share anything there, Amber?
I have done almost all of it. I've done the coming soon. I've done the deferred showings. I've done it all. I've done it both ways. I think the deferred showings and the coming soon has been the best thing for open houses. As far as waiting, like I'm going to be listing one soon. The house isn't quite ready. We've been in the talks for a little while. It's a divorce situation, so it's been a little rough. My personal opinion is if people are moving, condo may be a little different because it might be a 55 or over, or, might only have 2 bedrooms, but people are looking when they're moving, they're looking to get into a specific school district, school system, whatever it is. So they're looking and need to be in by, mid-August, end of August, the latest. Yes, people are on vacation. So I think it's like a double-edged sword. I guess it depends on the property. Mine, I personally told her, like, we need to get on market soon because people who are looking to move to this school district are going to want to have their house closed before school starts. Yeah, I mean, I get the vacationing and stuff like that, but people want to be in.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely two sides to the coin. There's definitely a lot of vacation and traveling going on in July and August, but I think if you've got a house that is, more like a family house, I think having it on the market prior to the, school system starting, there's got to be a little bit of an advantage there. Right now, if you got a condo or something that's probably not going to be a family, maybe it doesn't matter as much. But a family house, I definitely think if there's an opportunity before school, that could help. Did you have something else, James?
Yeah, I agree with that. That's right on. I've definitely had the experiences before. If you have a single family, they're so popular. I'm in Boston and around. They're so hard to get. They're the most expensive property to buy. There's always plenty of people looking in this area for that. People trying to get out of condos, particularly post-COVID, and into a single family environment. So it almost doesn't matter when you list them. There are prime times, but you can list those almost any time and get interest. Condos are definitely different. And in the last 4 or 5 years, I've sold 2 condos in this particular building before. So I've taken the hit of listing it at the wrong time when it wasn't ready. And we had to go with July, and it was crickets for open houses. There was nobody in the city. I'm sitting here right now, and there's hardly any traffic in Boston. So, around where I am anyway. And then I waited till after Labor Day on another one and picked up, there's a little sort of Indian summer market after Labor Day that seems to happen September and October. And it's not as linked to the school because it's sometimes just young couples before they start a family and things like that.
James, the traffic for Boston is on 90 right now coming in. It's nonstop.
then I'll stay away. I'll stay where I am.
I was just on 92. It's crazy heading that way now. I don't know what they're doing, but
Very good.
Jeff and Linda.
I have a question for everyone. How are you responding when people are saying, if you're hearing this, we want to wait till after the election? And so I'm very curious how people are handling that objection, because I don't know, after the election, are they afraid that, there won't be a country left, or they're going to have to, make plans to flee to Europe to make a purchase, or what are we talking about?
Anybody have something specifically that they're going to? I'll tell you what first comes to my mind, Linda, is data. And I love what Keeping Current Matters put out around the election data, which is there's only a drop in an election year in the month of November. And, sales have typically gone up, the number of sales and the average price the year after an election, if my memory serves me correct. So I think I would go to the Keeping Current Matters data and say, hey, look, here's the data in case you are concerned about those things. Right. What's more important, I think, is timing this so that it makes sense for you. Right. Let's not worry about the election. Let's make around everything that's going on in your life and outside of that November month, I think you're going to be okay according to the data.
Okay, I like that very much. Thank you.
Yep. Amber.
A lot of people are expecting the rates to freak out, either right around election time. This is what I'm hearing from all my lenders and stuff like that, although they expected it to go down 4 times this year and it didn't. And again, depending on who becomes president will affect it even more. So I think rates are one of the biggest things.
I think rates are a big factor in people's minds. Unfortunately, it just seems like I've tracked these things. Keeping Current Matters does a pretty good job. I'm like, all these people trying to predict the rates, like the brightest minds in the country, they never get it right. It's like trying to predict the weather, like or what a stock is going to do. So I just think I think when you're having conversations with your clients, it really needs to be about, don't worry about the rates. Let's worry about what is your current financial situation. Are you in the best possible financial situation? Let's get you to the lender. If there's some things that we got to clean up, and let's buy when you're ready to buy. Because timing the market it's extremely difficult to do. And the best and brightest minds out there don't seem to be able to predict what rates are going to do. So let's focus more on, you want to buy a house. Let's find one that meets your needs. Hiram, did you have something extra?
Yeah, just in regards to rates, a lot of times I'll have a conversation with clients and I'll let them know, listen, by waiting for the rates to go down, it's not going to necessarily help your situation because everyone is waiting for the rates to go down, right? So now you're going to have that huge pool of buyers who have decided to wait for the rates to go down. And then guess what? We have no inventory. So the demand is going to be higher. Property values are going to go back up. And then we're going to go back into the bidding war situation. So why not put yourself in a position to win now if you're able to do so? And let's do it. I said, and I'll tell them, I said, listen, let me ask you a question. You're concerned about the interest rates. How many credit cards do you have in your wallet right now? What's the interest rate that you're paying on those credit cards? I guarantee you're paying more than 29, 30% on those credit cards. And a lot of times it puts it into perspective for them and they really get it. They understand it. They'd be like, you know what, you're right.
I think I think that the strongest thing, the point that you put out there, Hiram, is if the rates do drop, you definitely are going to get an influx of buyers. If rates drop, I don't necessarily know that you get a correlation in the extra inventory that's going to come to market. So now we don't have enough supply to help with the demand that we have, and prices are going to go up. You're in bidding wars, and so right now, we seem to be a little bit leveling out. You can actually go get a house. It's not the easiest time. If you're in Florida, it's obviously a little bit easier, but man, if those rates do come down, I think we're in a much worse situation for buyers. So, listen, guys, we are right up against the clock, 9 o'clock. Appreciate everybody chiming in. And a couple of good topics today. I didn't know, you never know where these things are going to go, but some great feedback. And James, I appreciate you starting it off with a little something for us to bite our teeth into, and hope you guys have an awesome Tuesday. Check your insourcing and your outsourcing, and we'll chat with you again tomorrow morning. Take care.
Thanks. Have a great day,
Thanks,
everybody.
Dave.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.